What is up, everyone? As This week has been a bit of a roller coaster, and I don't even know where to begin. All right, so I'm having a solo shift at work, obviously, trying to work and everything like that. And my manager comes up to me and says, "Hey, there's a mess in the bathroom. Clearly, there's always going to be a mess in the bathroom." Now I'm thinking, vomit. It's not vomit. It's it's fecal matter. It's somebody went into the bathroom at this restaurant, looked at the toilet, and said, nah, we're not doing this. Now, the thing was that, like, the busser, the person who is normally out and about on the dining room floor, he was too squeamish to, clean up the mess. So I had to do it. I had to put on like at least 8 levels of gloves, man. 8 levels of gloves, man. I'm talking like I had to like not be able to feel my own fingertips if I did this with these gloves, man. Granted, I didn't have to necessarily pick up anything, use my hands. I just used a squeegeed everything into the drain because I think the coolest thing about bathrooms is that like they should have a drainage system in there because of all the water. So it's kind of cool that there is a drain in the bathroom that I can like, put this stuff into because toilets overflow, and when toilets overflow, where does the flow go? Bars. But yeah, somebody actually thought it was a good idea. And I think, and I like looking back at that. I think that copping a squat in a bathroom floor is easily the most disrespectful thing you could do as a person, because that would mean that you have to be holding it in long enough. Like it's a whole process to pull your pants down. You know what I mean? So like while you're pulling your pants down, you have to actually be thinking about this. This is not like copping a squat isn't an easy process. You know what I'm saying? Human beings, want to look more distinguished. So some of them probably might put on their belts. Some of them probably might put on, pants that have both a belt, a button, and a zipper combination. Nobody does elastic waistbands. I personally like to do elastic waistbands because I just like to be able to pull my pants down when I need to go to the restroom instead of having to settle the combination lock in order to undo my own armor, so to speak, my own armor of modesty. This dude, whoever this dude is, because it was a dude, it was a men's bathroom, so whoever this dude is, clearly looked at this toilet, pulled down his pants or their pants, because I don't know if they're trans or not, but pulled down pants and just said, "Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and do this on the floor." Now, the like I can understand. Like the thing is, I can understand somebody copping a squat out in public. You know what I mean? Sometimes a call to wild just happens. You know what I'm saying? Bathroom's not that close, so you may just have to do it there. It's a disgusting sight. It's an act of like it's a complete detriment to normal modesty. As a matter of fact, it could be qualified as both an act of nudity and a domestic. I'm not going to say domestic disturbance, but just a disturbing act in general. But I understand the call of nature. You know what I mean? As a guy, I have to understand the call of nature because every so often, something in my head goes, "Yo, bro, you gotta pull one out right now." And I just be like, "Nah, I'm good." So that's it. That's the weirdest concept. That's the weirdest thing about this. But to be able to be in the place to do the thing, and then just like to be moments away from doing the thing, and then just not doing the thing, I'm convinced that whoever did this is probably like is either psychotic, pranking, or maybe, and this is another thing that's going through my head. Maybe the toilet may have just overflowed and squat just ended up on the floor, or maybe it was an old person. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Maybe it's an old person because old people know it. You have to understand exactly how long old people have been on the planet for, and how long they've probably wanted to just mess with people. You know what I mean? And like with old people, they don't have to necessarily demand the respect because by default most people respect them anyway. So if you respecting like if I had the kind of if I was an old person, I'm not speaking for me, but it's like I'm speaking on the possibility that if I was an old person, every so often I would just be like, "So long, fart knocker," just as an old person because I can do it. If I had the and like because I can do it by default, you respect old people, so it's like of course they're gonna just be a little bit bonkers and annoying and not annoying, but like they're gonna probably do something to test the waters of how much they can actually get away with. Old people will probably make some of the best pranksters if they were actually mobile enough to do it. And the reason why I'm talking about old people right now is because of the fact that at some point, my generation, the meme generation, that everything has to be a joke generation, the nerdy generation who gets into arguments over fictional shows, these people are going to get old one day. And they are going to be the most obnoxious, annoying, easily angered. I feel bad for the nurses of the future because we are going to make your lives hell. Just because. Just because. Moving along though. So yeah, like I had to squeeze you up. That was the lowest part of my week though. Everything else was actually went by kind of smoothly because, we have I had help for these past few shifts, and that was dope. That was really dope. It was really kind of cool to. I don't know how long I'm gonna have the help for. They're apparently just sort of temping over there until the other restaurant opens in a nearby city. So like, but they were cool people though. I also learned a little something about myself. I learned that I'm an early bird. I learned that I am, like the earlier I go to sleep, the earlier I wake up. The earlier I wake up, the more progressive I am because of the fact that I live by routines. I live by schedules and things because my life is chaotic. It feels good for me to have at least a little bit of order in it. So what I do sometimes when I wake up, I do a Duolingo course. I do a there's this app I just got. It's called Mimo. It's basically Duolingo, but for programming. I used to always really want to be like a computer programmer. TV made computer programming look cool, and if the future is technological, you want to kind of get the hang of it a little bit. But that's how I normally start my morning. Duolingo, the Mimo thing. I also, like eat me one of these granola bars that I got. Although I probably should try to get a much more healthier granola bar. But I love chocolate so much. I eat some yogurt. I try to drink up that gallon of water over there, and that's basically like all that like happens in like maybe in the course of like a few minutes, if not maybe I don't know 30 minutes, and all that. So like in the first 30 minutes after I wake up, in an estimated 30 minutes I wake up, I learned a little bit of another language. I learned a little bit about programming. I ate a little healthy, and I drank some water and all that in the course of a few minutes. And now I'm energized and I'm ready to do other things. So, if I this morning I tried to work out. Can you tell? Yeah. I'd never feel that good until I actually start working out. So I should really work out more because, like as y'all can obviously tell, I don't. It's not that I have mood swings. It's just that like when you have depression, you're consistently being. I'm not gonna say you, but I'm consistently being battered by some of my worst memories, and so all it takes is just for me to have just one bad moment for me to just think about more bad things and just it's just more bricks in the walls of depression that I have built. So in order to necessarily take down the brick, I have to feel better, and I feel better when I do things that I like, or build up hobbies, or take time to devote energy into a little bit of hobbies that I know, or a little bit of hobbies that I focus on. And since for me, learning is a bit of a hobby, I find myself wanting to learn other things. Like just recently today, I just recently learned about Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone. I learned about Monrovia, the capital of Liberia. I learned about some parts of how a car works, and like I say, all of this happened within the course of a few hours. And one thing I really pick up on, one thing I notice about myself is I'm good at learning a little bit at a time. What I used to try to do was kind of just sort of get into everything at once. One of the things I always wanted to do growing up was kind of know a little bit about Africa as a continent. Because even though I was aware that Africa was a continent of over 50 countries, I thought to myself, well, if I learn a different fact from each country each time, the more I learn from each country each time, the more I'm going to learn about the continent overall. That's not how it works. At least not for me. I realize now I kind of have to just sort of like dip and dab into certain things and sort of like just learn about one country and then learn about another country and then learn about another country and do it that way so I can understand it a little bit better, because what goes on in South Africa is not going to go on in Kenya. What's going on in Kenya ain't going to be going on in Eritrea. What's going on in Eritrea ain't going to go on in Mauritius and all these other things. So now I'm learning. So now, because of the connections to America, I am going to be learning about both. I'm going to be learning it when I can about both Sierra Leone and Liberia. So there's that. I'm feeling really good right now. I don't know why. I guess I'm energized from working out and the fact that like it's literally not even 12 o'clock yet, and I already just learned just a little bit of stuff. I feel smarter a little bit, and I'm guessing that's definitely helping. I also now know that I like listening to audiobooks when I drive, so about to start learning me up some things all over again. I don't know. It feels good though. It feels really good. Okay. Uh I'm trying to like stay away from politics because of the fact that politics it's been feeling a little bit slow. And politics for me is basically how to punish right wingers for doing bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because like right now, like I just learned about the FBI raid. That is good news, man. Learning about Alex Jones getting his. That's good, and that's just the first of it. It feels. I hope that Alex Jones, if Alex Jones doesn't go to jail, I hope that he has to pay so much money that he is like homeless and just resorted to screaming through a megaphone in a corner somewhere, or starting up a podcast or something. I don't know, but like, and speaking of podcasts, I want to go ahead and just do a little a thing bashing a manosphere real quick. I probably might do that in another video because this video is too long. So that's it. You might get a double today. I don't know yet. Love, peace, happiness, and be sure to care about each other. Like build up a family element with people. Like try to build with one another, because we have been breaking each other apart for like eons, and look at how bad things have gotten because of that. Alrighty, love, peace, happiness, and safety to everyone out there, and I'm out.